What if I told you that influence isn't some magical gift you're born with, but it's actually a system? A system you can learn, install, and run whenever you want. Today, we're not just going to talk about fuzzy concepts. We are handing you the keys to a powerful four-part playbook for mastering pretty much any social situation. Let's get into it. You know who I'm talking about, right? That one person who walks into a room and it's like a switch flips. People just gravitate to them. They listen, they nod along, they get on board. Is it just luck? Are they just born with crazy charisma? Or are they running a totally different operating system than the rest of us? Well, here's the big secret. It is not luck, and it's not magic. It's a system. Influence is a skill, a repeatable process. And over the next few minutes, we're going to break that entire system down for you, piece by powerful piece. All right, let's dive into part one, the foundation. Because here's the thing, before you can influence anyone else, you got to hack your own mind first. Real, lasting influence always starts from the inside out. Okay, first rule of the playbook, you have to kill the criticism. Seriously, we think we're giving logical, helpful feedback, right? But the human brain doesn't run on logic. It runs on this deep, primal need to feel important and valued. So when you criticize, you're not attacking the problem, you're attacking their identity. And bam, a defensive wall goes up and the conversation is over before it even started. Let's make this real. Imagine a junior developer on your team accidentally pushes a bug that crashes your entire app right in the middle of a huge launch. Path one, you criticize. You go in, you point out the mistake, you list all the failures. What's the result? You've got a demotivated, resentful employee who is never, ever going to take a risk for you again. Now, path two, you understand. You pull them aside and say, hey, that was a tough one. Let's figure out what we can change in the process so this doesn't happen to any of us again. In that single moment, you didn't just fix a bug. You created unshakable loyalty. You empowered them. The second piece of the foundation is all about sincere appreciation. Now, this isn't about cheap flattery, not at all. It's about shifting your mindset to believe that every single person you meet knows something you don't. Your job is to find that thing, that little piece of genius, that unique skill, and genuinely appreciate it. It makes people feel seen, and that is an incredibly powerful feeling. And the last part of our foundation is the classic fishing principle. Think about it. When you go fishing, you don't bait the hook with cheesecake because you love cheesecake. That would be insane. You use worms with a fish wants. It's the exact same thing with people. The only way to get anyone to do anything is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. Frame everything around them, not you. Okay, with that foundation solidly in place, we can move on to part two, the magnetism code. These are the nuts and bolts techniques for creating real, genuine connections with people, right from that very first hello. So the code is made up of 6 key components. You've got becoming genuinely interested, the smile effect, the name recall superpower, being a deep listener, talking their language, and of course, making them feel important. We're going to break down the 3 biggest game changers you can start using literally today. Let's start with the simplest, yet maybe the most powerful tool you own, your smile. It costs absolutely nothing, but it's a universal signal that just radiates goodwill. It's a nonverbal way of saying, hey, I like you. I'm happy to see you. It completely disarms people and makes them want to open up. It is the fastest deposit you can make into any relationship's bank. Just as powerful as a smile is a sound, and that sound is a person's own name. I'm telling you, remembering and using someone's name is one of the most sincere and effective compliments you can give. It sends a clear signal. You were important enough for me to remember. And forgetting it, well, that sends the exact opposite message. So make the effort, repeat it, write it down, whatever it takes. It's an absolute superpower. And now for the ultimate superpower, becoming a deep listener. Look, let's be honest. Everyone's favorite topic of conversation is themselves. Most people aren't really listening. They're just waiting for their turn to talk. If you can be that one person in the room who truly, genuinely listens, who asks thoughtful follow-up questions and encourages them to talk about what they care about, they will walk away from that conversation thinking you are the most brilliant, fascinating person they have ever met. All right, so you've built the connection. Now it's time to level up to part 3, the persuasion protocol. This is all about how to effectively bring people around to your way of thinking without ever getting into a fight. So here's a rule that might sound kind of backward at first. The only way to win an argument is to avoid it completely. Think about it. Even if you win on facts and logic, you've almost always lost the person. You've bruised their ego, you've made them feel defensive, and they will resent you for it. Real persuasion isn't about proving someone wrong. It's about building a bridge so they can walk over to a new perspective on their own. Just look at it this way. That little rush you get from winning a debate, that's incredibly low value. But the long-term value of keeping that relationship strong and actually influencing their future behavior, that is exponentially higher. The choice is pretty simple when you think about it. Always, always play the long game.
So how do you actually do it? Use the 3-step disarm method. Step 1, if there is any chance you're wrong, even a little bit, admit it. Do it fast and do it with conviction. It completely disarms them. Step 2, genuinely try to see things from their perspective. Say something like, you know what, I can totally see why you'd feel that way. And finally, step 3, plant seeds. Ask questions that guide them to the conclusion you want so they feel like it was their idea all along. People will fight to the death for their own ideas. And that brings us to the final, most advanced part of our playbook, Part 4, the leadership blueprint. This is for when you don't just need to persuade, but you need to inspire real change and motivate people to take action, all without leaving a trail of resentment behind you. A single tiny word can change everything. When you're giving feedback, you have to avoid the but trap. Saying, you did a great job on this report, but just erases all the praise you just gave. It's like it never happened. Instead, swap but for and. You did a great job on this report, and I think we can make it even stronger if we just... You feel the difference? One criticizes, the other builds.
Look, we live in an attention economy, right? A boring, dry fact is basically invisible. If you want to make an impact, you have to dramatize your ideas. You have to make them vivid, give them flair, make them memorable. Think about Steve Jobs. He didn't just announce a new music player. He sold us on 1,000 songs in your pocket. That's drama.
Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you walk into your boss's office to pitch an idea. You could just talk about some boring process improvements, or you could just put this up on the screen. Nothing else. Just a huge, stark number. Instantly, you have 100% of their attention. They can't help but ask, what is that? And that's when you drop the hammer. That is the amount of money we are losing every single year because of this one little inefficiency we haven't fixed. See? You've just taken an abstract concept and made it tangible. You've made it urgent. You've made it dramatic. You've shown them the stakes in a way that is simply impossible to ignore. That's how you get people to act. Okay, this next one is a brilliant piece of psychology. If you want to encourage a certain behavior in someone, act as if they already have that trait in spades. For example, tell a team member who's a little disorganized, hey, I'm giving you this project because I know how organized and on top of the details you are. People will work incredibly hard not to disappoint the positive reputation you've just handed them. And finally, let's just round out your leadership toolkit with a few rapid-fire essentials. Instead of barking orders, ask questions. It gives people ownership. Always, always let the other person save face. It preserves their dignity and your relationship. Praise even the tiniest improvements. That's how you build momentum. And frame any mistake not as a huge failure, but as something that's actually really easy to correct. It builds the confidence they need to try again. So, there you have it. The whole system. The foundation for hacking your mindset. The magnetism code for instant connections. The persuasion protocol for winning people over. And the leadership blueprint for inspiring action. The entire playbook is now yours. So the only question left is, which part are you going to use first?